everyone, this is Payel, Kundu, Biology Mentor of NEET Institute. So today we will go to learn a particular topic, that is the Z scheme of photosynthesis. It's a common topic for NEET and class 11 at the board level. So let me start. So before teaching the Z scheme of the photosynthesis, we have to know what is photosynthesis from the childhood. We know basically what is photosynthesis. So it is the process by which plants are able to make their own food. So basically they need water that they are taking from the soil by the help of the root. They are taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, okay, by the help of the stomata. Inside the leaf, they are making their own food in the form of glucose. We know it occurs in the presence of sunlight and the chlorophyll. So the basic equation of the photosynthesis is like 6CO2, which they take from atmosphere by the stomata, plus 12 water molecules, that the water they are taking from the soil by the help of the root. So basically, in the presence of sunlight and the most important, the green pigment chlorophyll, they are now forming the glucose, which is C6H12O6. As a byproduct, they are forming oxygen. The oxygen that they form is basically going outside by the help of the stomata to the atmosphere, and also small molecules of water. So basically the glucose that they are forming is stored in their own body in the form of starch. So basically, what is the site of photosynthesis? Mainly we will see the photosynthesis is occurring in the leaf of a plant. Inside we know that leaf is particularly an organ, and we know that organ is made up of a tissue. So inside the leaf, a specific tissue is present where the photosynthesis occurs, is known as the mesophyll. It is the mesophyll tissue. So the tissue is the mesophyll. Now inside the mesophyll tissue, parenchyma cells are basically present. Okay. So inside that, the parenchyma cell is present, and we know that inside the cell some organelle is there. So here the organelle which is present is known as chloroplast. So inside the chloroplast, which is present in the mesophyll cell of the leaf, photosynthesis occurs. So chloroplast, that's why is also known as the kitchen of the plant. Okay, so we can do that. What is actually a chloroplast? What is its structure? We have studied in our previous classes that chloroplast is made up of two membranes. Suppose this is the outer membrane and this is the inner membrane. So it is basically made up of two membranes. Well, in between these two membranes, there is a space is present. This is the space which is present between these two membranes. So basically this is known as the intermembrane space. So we see that this is the outer membrane of chloroplast. This is the inner membrane of chloroplast, and the space which is present in between them, this two membrane, is known as the intermembrane space. Now it's very important that inside the inner membrane there is a matrix present, which is known as the stroma. So a matrix is present here which is known as stroma, and within the stroma there is the presence of some individual flattened disc-like structure. So these individual disc-like structures are known as, let me do this with the crane. So these individual flattened disc-like structures are basically present. These individual structures are known as the thylakoid. So these structures are called the thylakoid. Okay, and a bunch of thylakoid is known as grana. So it is thylakoid, a bunch of thylakoid is the grana. We will see so many granas are basically present here. So many granas are present here, and we will see that each of this grana, we will see that each of this grana is connected by a lamellae, which is known as stroma lamellae. So this grana is basically connected to each other by the presence of some lamellae. This lamellae is known as stroma lamellae. So these are basically the stroma lamellae. So this is about the structure of the chloroplast that we also have studied previously. Now this is very important that we know photosynthesis basically consists of two phases. One is known as the light reaction, another is known as the dark reaction. So where is light reaction occurring? So if we do that the photosynthesis, it basically has two phases. One is known as the light reaction and the other is known as the dark reaction. So light reaction specifically occurring in the grana of the chloroplast. So inside the grana the light reaction occurs, and the dark reaction basically occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. So inside the stroma, the dark reaction takes place. So we will go to study the Z scheme, which is a part of the light reaction. So let me do this. So we have to know that we see the thylakoid. The question is that where is chlorophyll pigment present? Chlorophyll pigment, which is very important for performing photosynthesis, is present in the thylakoid actually, in the membranous system of the thylakoid. So thylakoid consists of some system which is known as the photosystem. Okay, so what is a photosystem? In the photosystem, we will see some things. What are those? So there is the presence of a reaction center in the photosystem. One reaction center is present. Another thing which is present is known as the light harvesting complex. So one is the reaction center, another is the light harvesting complex. We will see that inside the thylakoid two types of photosystem can be present. One is photosystem 1, another one is photosystem 2. So let me do. First is the photosystem 1 and another is that the photosystem 2. Now we better know that any kind of the photosystem is made up of a reaction center and a light harvesting complex. Light harvesting complex is also known as LHC, short from the initials. So basically the photosystem 1 is made up of a reaction center, and this reaction center is basically getting excited by absorbing 700 nanometer of wavelength of light. So the reaction center is denoted as P700 because in the reaction center is getting excited when it absorbs 700 nanometer of light. Another is that the light harvesting complex 1. So this light harvesting complex, what is the light harvesting complex? What it is made up of? Light harvesting complex is basically made up of two things. One is that the light harvesting pigment, the light harvesting pigment which is associated with some protein molecules which is associated with some protein. So this is that the photosystem 1 is. And the next is that the photosystem 2 which is also made up of two parts. One is that the reaction center. Now in this case the reaction center is getting excited by absorbing 680 nanometer of sunlight. So by absorbing 680 nanometer wavelength of sunlight, it's getting excited. Okay, so it's also made up of the light harvesting complex, and it will be denoted as the light harvesting complex 2, which is also made up of the two parts. One is that the light harvesting pigments, the light harvesting pigments. Another is that the protein which is associated with this light harvesting pigments. So this is the concept of the photosystem. Now in the photosystem, if we do this, like if we draw this photosystem, so it will be like the photosystem. We know that the photosystem is actually consisting of a reaction center. Chiefly in case of the photosynthesis, the reaction center is chlorophyll A basically. So this is the reaction center. Reaction center. For any kind of the photosystem, it is at the center chlorophyll A pigment is present, and also this reaction center will go to be surrounded by, this reaction center is basically surrounded by so many pigment molecules which are associated with the protein. So they are producing a complex. You know the complex, this is known as the light harvesting complex. So this is the light harvesting complex which is present surrounding the reaction center. Okay. So let me do this. So we see at the center, there is the reaction center which is present, which is surrounded by this light harvesting complex. Light harvesting complex is also known as the antenna molecules because they are absorbing different wavelengths of light and they are sending this energy, they are sending this wavelength to the reaction center which is the chlorophyll A. So you see, this is the reaction center. And these molecules are actually the light harvesting complex. So we see that it is the photosystem, and we will see that what is the function of this light harvesting complex. Light harvesting complex are basically absorbing the sunlight in the form of photon. So they are basically absorbing the photon of the sunlight, and they are transferring this energy. They are transferring this energy to the reaction center. When the reaction center is getting excited, it will release an electron. Okay. So as a result, we will see that this is getting excited. When it is getting excited, the reaction center particularly, it will now go to release electron, and this electron will be accepted by one electron acceptor. So it is accepted by an electron acceptor. So this is the structure of the photosystem, where we see light harvesting complex or antenna molecules. They are also known as shield pigments because they are protecting the reaction center from entering the excessive sunlight, so that the chlorophyll will not get bleached. Okay, so this LHC or antenna molecules, or you can say the shield pigments, they are basically taking this different wavelengths of light. They are sending this to the reaction center, so that reaction center is getting excited, and it is releasing the electron which is accepted by the electron acceptor. So this is about the photosystem. So before knowing the Z scheme, we should know what is photosystem, we should clear the concept of the photosystem. Okay, so now we can do the Z scheme. Finally we reach here, the Z scheme of light reaction. So at the childhood we know that what are the products of the light reaction. In class 10 we studied in light reaction, oxygen is formed, NADPH is formed, ATP is formed, and here we will see how these things are basically formed. So let me do the two photosystems, that is photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. So at first we will do the photosystem 1 here at the right side. So photosystem 1. And here we can do the photosystem 2. So in both of this photosystem, we know that here the LHC is present, light harvesting complex. So here LHC is present, light harvesting complex. This photosystem 2 also has LHC, light harvesting complex. So the reaction center is also present there. Basically it also has electron acceptor, that is the primary. So it is the primary electron acceptor. Here is also the presence of primary electron acceptor. So it's just the same thing we see here, that it's basically made up of the LHC and the electron acceptor. Just the same thing we did here. Okay, so we know that if it is the photosystem 2, then it will be excited when it will absorb the sunlight of 680 nanometer, and it will be activated when it will absorb the sunlight of 700 nanometer wavelength of light. So now what happens? Here will be the light which will fall both here so the light will fall here, the light will also go to fall there. In both the LHC, the light is basically falling. Okay, so it will be activated when it absorbs 680 nanometer of light, and we know what it will do. It will release the electron, so that the electron will now be in the primary electron acceptor. So LHC of the photosystem 2. So now the LHC of the photosystem 2, when absorb the light of 680 nanometer of light, is getting excited, and now it is giving its electron where? To the primary electron acceptor. Okay, so now the electron is reaching to the primary electron acceptor. At the same way, when the light ray is reaching to the LHC of photosystem 1, basically by absorbing 700 nanometer of light, this LHC is getting excited, reaction center is getting excited, and it is releasing the electron, so that now the electron is present in the primary electron acceptor of photosystem 1. Now what will happen? The electron which is present here, okay, in the primary electron acceptor of photosystem 1 will move downhill. It will move downhill and it will do the conversion of NADP plus. We know what is NADP, nicotinamide adenine nucleotide diphosphate. So NADP plus will be associated with this electron, and it will be converted into NADPH plus H plus. So in this way we see that NADP is reducted by the help of the electron which is present in the primary electron acceptor of the photosystem 1. So here light ray falls, it releases the electron. This electron is used to make NADPH from the NADP plus. We know it is reduction because here it is the addition of electron or addition of hydrogen, which is known as a reduction. So we got our first product. That is NADPH. Now what will happen? Just think, if LHC is absorbing the light energy, if it loses the electron, there we will found one electron is deficient here in the LHC of the photosystem 1, right? Because it is giving its electron to the primary electron acceptor. So there will be deficiency of one electron in this LHC. Which will go to fulfill this deficiency? The primary electron acceptor of the photosystem 2, it will go to fill the deficiency of this electron. How? So we see that when light was absorbed by the LHC of the photosystem 2, it was giving its electron to the primary electron acceptor. Now this electron will be entering to the LHC to fulfill the deficiency of that electron. Okay, so when it is entering, how it is basically perceived? By the help of a structure, by the help of a system which is known as electron transport system. So here there is the presence of electron transport system. So by the help of this electron transport system, electron which was present in this primary electron acceptor of photosystem 2 is entering into the LHC of the photosystem 1 to compensate that electron, to fulfill that electron's deficiency. So during this time, when electron is passing from here to here, at this time, ADP, which you know, adenosine diphosphate, is associated with inorganic phosphate, and it leads the formation of ATP, that is the energy currency. So we got our second product, that is the ATP. ATP is formed in this way. Now there will be a question that, ma'am, what will be with this LHC? There is still a deficiency of electron in this LHC, and actually this will be fulfilled by the splitting of water. So what will happen? The water which was taken by the plant by the help of the root is splitted up. It is basically forming hydrogen plus ion, oxygen, and also it produces 2 electrons. This electron will be given to the LHC of the photosystem 2. So in this way, we found that how the electron is moving. Electron is moving first here, then here, then here. Let me do this. Like this. You can turn it at the right side. You can just turn it at the right side, right? So you can see here. That's why this scheme is known as the Z scheme. It's very simple. Okay. So let me do one recap for better understanding this. We see that 2 photosystems are there. LHC of 2 photosystem is there, and the primary electron acceptors are also there. First, what happened? Light was absorbed by the LHC of photosystem 2, also by the LHC of photosystem 1. After absorbing the light, okay, they are getting excited. They are losing the electron. These electrons are now entering to the primary electron acceptor of both of these 2 photosystems. Now let's do here. Now the electron will go to add to the NADP plus, and also hydrogen plus ion is added here, so that it is converted into NADPH. So we see that here there will be a deficiency of electron because it is losing that electron. How this deficiency will be fulfilled? It will be fulfilled by the primary electron acceptor of the photosystem 2. It will give its electron by the help of the electron transport system to the LHC of the photosystem 1. So when the electron was moving in this direction by the electron transport system at this time, ADP is associated with inorganic phosphate and ATP is formed. We know ADP is adenosine diphosphate, ATP is adenosine triphosphate. You basically know this. Now the main thing is that After losing the electron by the LHC, there is still a deficiency of electron here. How to fulfill this electron deficiency? Water is splitted. It forms hydrogen, oxygen, and also the electron. This electron will be given to the LHC to compensate this. So this is about our Z scheme. I hope you understand this. Thank you so much.